Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar. I know last night I made a video that was a very serious piece of content, and honestly today I'm glad to be making a video that I enjoy making every step of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, is YouTube's ad blocker war destroying the website? Honestly, it's a lot more complicated than you think. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to start off with a few of the articles that I've been seeing flying around. Now, for full context, the last several months, there have been some murmurs that YouTube is slowing down the website if you have a pesky ad blocker installed. You gotta turn off that pesky ad block. And YouTube really wants you to buy YouTube Premium, and also the site's costing them a lot to run. Now, with layoffs in the entire industry, and obviously websites like this cost billions of dollars to operate in an international scale, there's no doubt that YouTube is obviously putting things like higher bit rates behind paywalls, or putting, obviously, or telling you that videos or using their platform, utilizing an ad blocker is against their TOS. So for instance, if you look at YouTube's terms of service right now, which obviously if you're a YouTuber, you probably have this memorized like it's a Bible, but of course it says when you block YouTube ads, that means all of us, okay? That means even you, if you've got, an ad blocker running. You violate YouTube's terms of service. If you use ad blockers, we ask you kindly, not kindly actually, I don't know why I was thinking of Wikipedia for a second, when like Jimbo walks in and he's like, kindly give us $1 for Wikipedia like every year. We'll ask you to allow ads on YouTube or sign up for YouTube Premium. If you continue to use ad blockers, we may block your video playback. Sometimes when you have like an ad blocker up and like YouTube gives you that little blurb that's like, hey, bitch, turn that off. All right, you got a few more tries. Other than that, you better start watching those ads. That's it's kind of the general vibe. Obviously, YouTube's not as serious. I'm adding some embellishment there. But literally a few days ago, YouTube was wrongfully blamed for its ad blocking situation. Now, you might have seen a video from creators where they were talking about, hey, YouTube is slowing down. Is YouTube slow or whatever? And a lot of it is due to the fact that people were reporting that, yes, YouTube was in fact slow to load. One of the most popular clips that I saw floating around about a few days ago was this clip of somebody watching Linus Tech Tips. So one of the claims being made over here is when Adblock appears to be enabled on their actual site right here, you can see that they've got the Adblock extension running. As the website is loading, you can see in the buffer bar down here that apparently it seems that it may have actually slowed. So again, going into their video, you can see that buffer area, so right down at the bottom where they're actually signifying, that red line is obviously the portion of the video you've watched, and there usually is a lighter gray line that signifies a portion of the video that has already been buffered into your browser. So the alleging action over here is that by enabling this ad blocking software, it appears that YouTube may be slowing down the buffer speed, which could cause skips, interruptions, or an unusable experience for some people. So when they turned off their ad blocker and reloaded the website, the next portion that they ended up finding was, hey, the actual buffering was really fast. So as they're watching the video, you can see that gray line is expanding, and it actually is loading the website or video file faster than if Adblock was enabled. So obviously putting Adblock back on here, what they're alleging here is that the video is now loading slower than they expected. So again, with the ad block enabled, it seems like it's not loading past a certain point. And of course, for them, it appears that the actual video has kind of stuttered or even in some cases stopped. Now, if this is actually real, this is YouTube making the experience purposefully worse for the person watching, okay? If they have ad block enabled, right? This is YouTube. If it's true, that would mean YouTube is adding another sort of step in making the usage of Adblock annoying on their website. Remember a few months back when we looked at a situation where like Firefox, people with the Firefox browser had like a 5-second delay? Sorry, they had a 5-second delay in basically loading up a video? Well, YouTube actually admitted that that was true. But it wasn't true when it actually came to the initial allegation. It wasn't the browser. They were actually hitting ad blockers. So according to Android Authority, they actually wrote, to support a diverse ecosystem of creators globally and allow billions to access their favorite content on YouTube, we've launched an effort to urge viewers with ad blockers enable to allow ads on YouTube or try YouTube Premium for an ad-free experience. Users who have ad blockers installed may experience suboptimal viewing, regardless of the browser they're using. So you could be using Brave, Chrome, Opera GX, Edge, whatever browser is in your purview. If you have those ad blockers, YouTube is constantly running an open war against them. Now, when it came to this specific situation that we were watching, another key allegation that I was looking at was the fact that YouTube was consuming a lot of CPU usage. So according to some of these videos, if you actually look at them real carefully, so you can see that as this video appears to be loaded, you can see that their user, like CPU percentage, they're using 18% just on the web browser alone. So 37% of their CPU is being used watching a YouTube video. Now again, I'm looking at the gear and I don't see high definition or 4K, which usually can be a culprit in high CPU usage. But again, I don't know this person's rig. I can make a general assessment how much memory they probably have, but generally with the CPU, they're definitely, they may not have the best CPU, maybe to watch videos, but that's also an absurd statement. Watching a YouTube video doesn't really require a crazy high CPU either. That being said, I don't know exactly what's going on in their browser, but 18%, at least to me, seems a little bit too high if you're not watching high definition YouTube video. And the moment that stopped, you can see that, you know, they've dropped down to like 2% CPU usage. And that is when they turn off like uBlock origins on their website. So apparently there's also allegations of people's CPU being, blown up a little bit. Now, by blown up, I mean, obviously as the CPU usage increases, the temperature goes up, but CPU usage, like your temperature going up isn't going to necessarily destroy your CPU just by watching YouTube. I would just say an hour of gaming does more damage on your CPU than whatever we were seeing there. In, I would say, what, like months even? It's complicated. CPUs can handle high temperatures, right? But the whole point is, if YouTube is purposefully slowing down systems and causing high CPU usage because it's detecting ad blockers, that's a suboptimal experience that they are committing to. So you might be wondering, again, why is YouTube making the experience incredibly suboptimal? The idea is, if you cause any inconveniency, people are probably going to get rid of it and agree to watching the 30-second ad, right? Or pay for YouTube Premium. Because of this situation, even back in November, because of how YouTube was cracking down, there was actually record uninstallers of Adblock, as reported by Wired. So again, YouTube, by making something, inconvenient, a lot of people just to, use the service that they go to every day are willing to, I guess, put up with the ad or series of ads. Now, with this most recent situation, this most recent problem, it actually turns out the problem was not caused by YouTube. YouTube wasn't slowing down buffering, nor were they causing high CPU usage, because the problems here all amounted to Adblock in specific. Not uBlock, not the other extensions, primarily Adblock. And what Adblock said was recently Adblock Pro released version 3.22, which upgraded the bundled extension engine version to 1.1.1. Adblock released version 5.17.0, which also updated the version to 1.1.1. We've had several reports of slow response time since the update. It appears to be an issue in the extension engine since APB, Adblock, and the EWE test extension all seem to experience a similar issue. And again, even YouTube relayed this as well. So the company that's behind Adblock, IO, actually said Adblock and Adblock Plus users have recently experienced a slowdown in performance and a higher use of CPU when browsing on YouTube and other websites. Our engineering team fixed the problem and released Adblock Pro 3.22 and 1, and the new versions are on those extension stores, which means the problem is solved over Adblock and Adblock Plus users and they shouldn't experience issues that are related to the fixed bug. And as soon as their extension is updated for the new version, our team will closely monitor the situation and is ready to make further adjustments should it become necessary. So yeah, this wasn't necessarily even the fault of YouTube or any underlying code they had launched underneath it. All this was effectively ad blocker code, and something to do with their engines actually caused an issue for the people that were using this product, which again, all boils down to getting to the facts of the situation. Look, at the end of the day, YouTube does not want ad blocks. They've made that very apparent in the YouTube TOS. And look, the fact that they haven't already started banning accounts that are using this, or YouTube can allege to be using, is already a showcase to the patience that they have to get people to cross over. I think banning accounts and banning people may also be a bit of an issue, considering some of the biggest browsers in the industry come with ad blockers universally built in. The other big reality is people who know ad blocking and constantly fight against it have invested some of their money, very small amounts. If you buy a Raspberry Pi, and this is again $90, so it really depends on if you want to spend this kind of money. They buy a Raspberry Pi kit and install something known as Pi-hole, which is network-wide ad blocking. And actually, this whole thing is going to be a video later. Not necessarily how to build the ad block, but also I want to get you guys starting to use your own DNS servers at this point, just because I want you to control the internet more and have it under your tips, versus relying on the big industries around us. But that's a video for a different time. Ad blocking is a serious war that not just YouTube is going at. Multiple websites, whether you be Twitch, whether you be Meta, whether you be X, whether you be whatever, Twitter, I don't care. If you're a website that relies on ad revenue to sustain yourself and even pay creators, you're probably going to put the war onto them. And that's something that I totally understand from YouTube's end. Now, at the end of the day, the only issue that I have, and the only reason I am sympathetic to people in my audience that use Adblock, look, if you use Adblock to watch my videos and I don't get paid like a few cents from you, it's not going to ruin our relationship. The only reason I'm very sympathetic is there has been a problem with advertising on the internet. Look, just one confirmed case that I've had is when we looked at an OBS download, a website back in the day for OBS that literally had a a Google ad that appeared at the top of the search rankings, and I accidentally downloaded it. Had I done that and launched that tool without thinking, I could have given up my YouTube channel or gotten myself hacked through that process. I could have gotten multiple accounts hacked, which is the only thing that I ever want YouTube and Google to do. If their systems can weed out a lot of these growing bad actors, because we've seen them, okay? Pornographic advertisements, the people who pretend to be on Mr. Beast's team and give out $1,000. If YouTube could really crack down on those actors, then I would have no problem with their, fight on Adblock. It's their site. They want people to get paid. I'm just worried about the safety of my viewers and any viewers when they have to come across ads that should probably be on adult websites, not on something like YouTube. And that's really the end of the crux, right? Like, I'm more worried about the safety people go through, because as of the internet right now, with the trackers and the shady ads that exist, it really feels like Adblock is not there to add a luxurious view to the internet. It's there also as a piece of anti-malware. But yeah, this is YouTube's war, and this is one casualty that YouTube is not responsible for. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and I just wanted to explain the situation. I love talking about computer stuff. I love talking about the Adblock war. That said, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like this, like it, I am out.